Hey, 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 and hello. Welcome back to another episode of Earth 2 in the Know. Listen, we know it's been a while since the last video's been put out by the channel, and we just want to apologize. The workload has been tremendous lately, and it has caused some delays in keeping up with the most recent of events inside of Earth 2. That said, there have been some huge news announcements over the last week, though. This is Earth 2 in the Know, and let's get into it. So, first and foremost, we definitely want to discuss a change in our very own format. Here at the channel, we've decided to do away with the multiple market reports every week and summarize it maybe one day a week instead. We did this because we realized that repeating the same things over and over again, well, they make for very dull content. This is not to say that we will not be doing special announcement videos when milestones are met, but that is for a future discussion. Instead, we want to focus more on the upcoming gameplay aspects of the game as our primary coverage. Well, that alongside doing current event things like live interviews with people creating major projects inside of the Earth 2 metaverse. This, of course, comes with our promise of speculation-free, non-hyped information. Now that we have covered the first biggest change with the channel, we are super excited and want to announce that we as a creator and a player have been selected for the very first ever pre-alpha Lickety 2. Obviously, this will come with a non-disclosure agreement, so we will be limited to what we can share. But when asked about this prior, Shane did say that we might be able to live stream at some point during the testing. So that's exciting. We're super stoked. Now, of course, we've got to do it. With that announcement, we do want to invite you guys to absolutely subscribe to the channel to stay in the know. And now that we have your attention, we would like to thank all of our regular viewers for once again checking us out and seeing what we're up to over here at E2ITK. As well as welcome anyone who may be checking out the channel for the very first time ever. So let's do it. Let's talk current events inside of the Earth 2 platform and what has been all the buzz lately. First and foremost, we absolutely need to talk about the trial solution for the e-dollar withdrawals. The official release of one solution has the community at split decisions on satisfaction with the resolution. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Our community divided? Who could have ever imagined? One thing that most everyone can agree on is that there is a bit of uncertainty of how this plays out. By now, most people know about the staking mechanisms on the Mintars in preparation for a minigame that's to be released. So how does this new feature connect to the new trial withdrawal system? Well, quite simply put, the goal is to make sure to reward players who are not looking to add to the selling pressure. This pressure can hopefully be offset by buys of Essence, as well as a great deal of the circulating supply basically working for the player earning Ether rewards by being locked up in Essence staking. Our fellow creators, both Pacey and Robin Arg, have both made great in-depth videos about the mechanics and the benefits of utilizing the staking system on the platform. Feel free to check them out by navigating down to the bottom of the page and finding them there. After the end of this video, obviously. Just to provide a small summary of how it works, let's take a look directly at some snippets from the article the team has released. Remember that everything in quotation marks is directly from the article released by the team. It starts with, the Mintar staking system is an exciting new feature that not only has the potential to boost the productivity of your property, but will also play a pivotal role in our very first mini-game, Earth 2 Hordes. Players will have the option to supercharge their Mintar by staking Essence, effectively setting it up as a beacon that can attract creatures and beasts to your property. The types and numbers of creatures attracted will vary depending on the size of your property and the amount of Essence that you have staked. So that was just a little look at the what. Now let's grab a few more lines from the article just for a quick overview of the how. Earth 2 Hordes will be a co-op PvE game. And if you're not familiar with what a PvE game is, it's basically, it means cooperative player versus the environment. So it's you and your team versus everything in the world around you. It's a lot of fun, especially if you've got a good gameplay system where everybody plays their own role. The game loop begins with players entering a lobby system to find an available game. Once a game is found, players are spawned onto the property, just before an incoming horde is activated. Sounds cool, right? I dig it. The goal of the units in the horde is to take out anything standing in their way before they get to the Mintar and begin desynthesizing into ether, which is then attracted to the charged essence in the Mintar. The goal for the players, on the other hand, is to set up a force field-like shield around the Mintar and intercept the horde units with the aim of desynthesizing them before they reach the Mintar, while ensuring the players remain alive. Players will start each minigame unarmed, relying on their bare hands and feet. So if you guys been slacking, you better get on them kung fu skills, boy. But don't worry, if hand-to-hand combat isn't your bag, weapons and abilities can be acquired through drops from defeated horde units, completing tasks, or finding loot and objects. So there's always that option for you. These weapons and abilities will help players compete against subsequent waves of horde units. So basically, the more gear you collect, the faster the horde units are going to get defeated, and the faster that you can possibly get ether rewards. So that's a sneak peek into how the system works. And if for some reason that you are not currently up to speed, we urge you to check out the article on the site or one of the great videos on the subject here on social media outlets from a partner creator. Now, just to cover the most important stuff from the article, we do want to include the key points of the new withdrawal system. So, per the site, these are the key takeaways from the article about the new withdrawal system. The first key point that they addressed was that players with pending withdrawals will be contacted by their support team or the accounting team notifying them of this option. On occasion, they may receive a notification on a platform via the notification system. However, our team will still endeavor to send an email as well. The second key point of the article that they wanted to cover is that this option will be carried out in order of oldest request to the newest. They got to keep it fair, right? The third point that they made was that once contacted, the player will see an option appear on their withdrawal page, providing them with the opportunity to receive their e-withdrawal as Essence. The fourth point being that it is completely optional and the player can decide whether or not they want to accept this alternative over a period of about 5 days. If, after 5 days, the player has not accepted the option, then the button will no longer be available on your withdrawal page, and they will need to wait until either the option becomes available again when the account team cycle through a second time, or if they finalize a solution for the fiat system. Number 6 we find is very interesting because, well, let's just talk about it. So during the 5 days, the player is in control of when they execute the transaction. 5 days is a huge window for people to be able to navigate gas fees and decide when the most effective time for them to process the transaction will be. So that's a major plus for us, and we think that the team was really thinking ahead with that decision. That, of course, brings us to the 7th point, which is once a player executes the transaction, they will have ownership of the essence on the platform, and they can utilize it for anything such as Mintar staking, building side droids, crafting, essence withdrawals, and so forth. They followed that up with number 8, which is, as the external value of essence can fluctuate up or down, we suggest that if the player plans to immediately withdraw their essence transaction, that they do it on a weekday, or at least a few hours before 2 p.m. GMT 10. The 9th and final point that they wanted to make to just summarize the article was that there will be no charge to the player for using this option to transact to Essence during the trial period. So I'm assuming that they're just going to let it go for a little while and cover the fees. And if people do decide they like this option and it is something that's kept in the platform, then there may be a slight implementation of fees later on. So just keep that in mind. Now that we've done our duty to report the new systems, we want to put this disclaimer. Here at E2I2K, we advise you to look at all of your options and then decide what works best for your personal situation. Unless you're just paying no attention to the markets, then you will know that we've seen some major sell-offs in the market, thanks to a U.S. job report suggesting that the states may in fact be heading into a recession-favorable condition. Of course, being paired to the ETH coin, we have felt this in the Essence token as well. Currently, at the time of production, we're looking at the token trading around 6 cents USD. The interesting thing to note is that even with all of the sell-offs and other projects, we're still maintaining an average of 2,000 holders. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons that we have not gone lower is because as people sell off, the community continues to buy the dips. As a matter of fact, the only reason that we've seen such a massive dip overall is because two whales sold off huge bags and pulled liquidity by removing ETH from the pool. Had it not been for those two selling off as a result of not liking the payoff trial program, we would have barely seen any movement while everything around the market dropped like 20+%. If anything, this proves that the community will step up to the plate when it is necessary to keep the token from completely crashing. Here at E2I2K, this reinforces our belief that there is nothing we cannot accomplish if we work together instead of arguing amongst ourselves. Now, there have not been any new skin releases since we last saw Hawk, but believe that we should be seeing one right around the corner. When in a Discord Fast Q&A, Shane did reveal that they will be phasing out some of the current limited edition runs we've been seeing release in a 250 mint. This meaning two things. Users who were concerned about the amount of these limited edition runs can rest easy knowing that the team has no plans to saturate the market with the same designs, as well as the fact that we now have something exciting to look forward to, skin-wise. As we get closer to being an active part of the V1 First Look for testers, we want to remind everyone that even though it seems like we've been here forever, to most people, Earth 2 hasn't even been born yet. Concept videos and tile art are great as a starting point, but the real impact comes when use cases are realized and people understand the potential for entire worlds to be created inside of a decentralized environment. When little Johnny can log into Earth 2 and visit a virtual museum at the touch of a button, or perhaps a musician can reach an entire new audience who may have never heard what they had to offer, all because they all logged into the same virtual experience at the same exact time. Once we can do these things, that's when Earth 2's potential will truly start to be realized. We could list 1,000 things that we could be excited about with this technology coming to fruition. However, for us, it's the helping to create a legacy for future generations to enjoy and improve that gets us pumped. Listen guys, we are super excited to be back in the studio as we slowly start to integrate to our new format over the next few months. If you would like to be a guest on an interview on air, please reach out to us, as we feel like these talks and debates about certain aspects of E2 could lead to being an outlet for the community to collab on general ideas, resolutions, as well as future developments. Plus, we'd love to have you. Let's talk about it. We will, in fact, be looking to start filling the calendar in late September or early October. Possibly, maybe, even creating a panel type environment where people can say their piece. Now, all that we ask is that it will be kept respectful so that we can continue the format and make an impact on the community. The last thing we want is for this to take off and people to be disrespectful and for that kind of behavior to be rewarded. We want to reward people for being constructive, intelligent, inquisitive, and offer solutions. Concerning E2V1, the team says that we ask that if you take to social media to share that you've been accepted, please also be sure to share that not all invitations have been sent out yet. They will be sent out over a number of days and possibly weeks. And also that we are looking for a specific type of tester first. So if you, someone that has not received an invitation yet, there is no reason to panic or feel bad. Just keep that in mind, guys. Still more coming, still more on the way. That said, we're going to wrap this video up for now. I know it's been a long one, but we had a lot to get out. We possibly may have another one tomorrow coming up just to cover our normal topics. Also, before we go, we know that there were a few contests that were interrupted because of the delay in time to create content, but we will be doing a makeup draw for those videos in a future release with a future skin drop. As always, we are forever grateful for the audience that you have given us if you've made it this far into the video. We once again want to remind everyone that our goal here on the channel is to bring accurate information free from hype. And we love every subscriber we get and all of those who leave comments of appreciation and encouragement. You guys are the best, and I really have missed you over the last week or so. So glad to be back. We at the channel have full faith in the project and look forward to what Shane and the team are going to bring to us next. So go ahead and let us know in the comments if you are a fan of the new option for people to get their e-balance out of the project while the team continues to navigate the new regulations, or even tell us if you're not a fan and you wish that they would look at something else. Sadly, this is about all the time we have in the studio today, but have loved the opportunity to connect with all of you once again. And as always, we cannot wait to see you in the R2 Metaverse. Maybe even the pre-alpha testing.